Well, we have 30 minutes to kill. Drinks?
You know it.
Kanish like, I could drink.
I could see. I could tell. I mean, what else you gonna do in the woods, huh?
That's mostly what we do, yeah.
Drinking in the woods.
Drink and investigate ritualistic sacrifices.
The King's Rangers. We drink in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot's going on because no one goes in there.
Yeah, why is the king so stingy about his woods? What's the deal?
It was something left to him by his father, and then the royal family as a whole. They maintain it. They use it for hunting. It's a national treasure, really.
Yeah, but if it's a national treasure, if no one's allowed to hunt in it,
I mean, they do have uses for it. The royal family does grant people to use it from time to time, but it's a ad hoc basis. And I can't tell you much more than that.
Or else you'd have to kill me.
No, nothing like that. But Halwin could also pick up on the way that she's speaking and her mannerisms that she doesn't really want to tell you anything specific about the forest.
Like, because she probably shouldn't?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
She's hiding, like glossing over like something else in there.
Interesting. Okay. I'll probably leave that alone for now.
For sure. Yeah. She's like, no, but we should go. We can go get a drink, and then we should meet Master Killian. I am quite curious about what this gathering is about.
Yeah, it sounds like an auction. Perhaps he's selling off some of his pets.
Ooh.
Apparently, or maybe he's having an estate sale of some sort.
Ooh, I love an estate sale.
Well,
that's where I got this trench coat.
I swear, if you
No
get
kidding.
another giant, hideous painting, we are not putting it in the office.
The walls are bare. We have to add some color.
What one painting do you have in there now?
Frank, what?
Can we determine what hideous painting Frank got?
It's
with this new money that's coming in from these missions, you spent it on some dumb painting.
Yeah, it's like it's a source sled with like fantasy bikini babes hanging out the back, and a guy like looking over his shoulder, pulling the sunglasses down and winking at the painter.
And there's a giant billboard for like a fantasy soda in the background.
Yeah, it's like it would be spray painted on the side of a van.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
And it's huge.
Okay, good. Yeah,
like it's huge.
It's absolutely classless.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Frank went to an estate sale and just brought back this massive painting. It was just like, hey, look what I got.
Yeah, he went to an estate sale and accidentally bought something off of the movers themselves, not the actual like house.
Right. It looks like something that would hang in a Guy Fieri restaurant in Sharn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. So what do you do?
Is there anyone? I mean, this is clearly a kind of a fancy event.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like upper crust of Sharn sort of individuals here that we may or may not recognize?
For sure. There are definitely upper crust, Brailish and Sharn people there. I'm trying to determine how much you know, but just it might be a good move to make, actually, to like kind of like mingle and kind of eavesdrop and kind of see what you can.
All about that.
What you can pick up. So maybe I think read a bad situation, and I'll be a little bit flexible on the questions for these.
Okay.
I think some of them apply, but maybe not all of them. So because this is a bad situation, because you found yourselves with these very, very wealthy people, and as you're kind of mingling and going around, you're also realizing that a lot of these are very powerful, wealthy people.
Right.
So we'll see how much you can learn.
Oh, that is a 13.
Woo! Okay, so for read a bad situation, I think, some questions that could be relevant are like dangers we haven't noticed, biggest threats. Those could be represented as people.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you wanted to ask any of the other questions, you can go for it.
So I would say, yeah. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed as far as people we should watch out for and things like that?
Right.
Cultural faux pas.
Yeah. Maybe. How do you imagine that Halwin navigates the situation? Like, what's he doing to learn this information?
I feel like he's, again, he's a bit of a schmoozer, so he's kind of, people that he locks eyes with, he's probably going to, bow and try to greet very formally and, exchange some pleasantries, like say something like, are you excited for the auction this evening? And see if their responses give him anything, and then
right.
what brings you to the auction? You know, seeing if people if he can discern maybe some motives or anything. Just kind of using what little bit he knows to try to fish out just a little bit more from people each time.
Okay, gotcha. And what exactly question was it again?
Yeah, so it actually didn't really pertain to the question I just asked, but are there any dangers we haven't noticed? So
okay.
Again, to what you said earlier, I'm thinking people.
Any hard bodies?
Yeah, the biggest. There are lots of hard bodies.
Oh my gosh!
Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
The biggest danger in the room, and maybe you heard it as you're talking to people, where they're just like, I can't believe that these people are here. Basically, is a kind of an entourage of sorts that came with a very well-known individual of the pirate king Jakundi.
Oh God, really?
Yes.
Do you remember him?
Who is basically just was a gladiator back in his homeland, and then came to the seas, and then just wrecked everyone and took over all their stuff and all their holdings and all their money. And now he's known for being the effective pirate king, but also being a shark gladiator. So he fights sharks for sport. And you see a couple of his people gather around there. They're dressed similarly, but that's the biggest threat that people are worried about. Can't believe these wild pirate outlaws are here.
So it's like a bunch of nobles and
mostly
and business owners and the dread pirate Jakundi.
Yes.
So that's who we're going to fit in with, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah,
on the spectrum.
For sure, and as you look at his friends, they have these piercings, these wild piercings all over their faces, and they're all wearing that scale leather with shark tooth accessories on them.
Well, if there's one individual I don't care to interact with, recognize that gentleman?
Barry? Over by the... he seemed like a nice guy, honestly. It was a little put upon.
Jakundi. That pirate?
Is he's
the one
here?
that drowned the guy in horse piss? Remember that story?
Yes, he is here.
He's right there.
I've got to get his autograph.
We'll say he's probably at the bar, and again, a human man with just really gruff, angular features, but totally bald head.
Yeah.
Just has this holy jewelry all on his fingers, these rings, and just decked out. And
he's Mr. T-ing it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Frank
a dangerous, deadly Mr. T.
Frank is gonna sidle up to the bar next to him and order a drink.
Yeah, and he's talking. He's talking with a couple of his friends, a couple of his crewmates, about some recent sea monster that they killed or something like that. When you sidle up to him,
yeah, Frank's gonna look at the barkeep and go, 2 whiskeys, please.
The bartender gives you 2 whiskeys. At that point,
Jakundi wholly ignores you.
Jakundi has in turn to acknowledge you at this point.
Frank's gonna drink them both, and then he's going to say, so you guys also look like you're a bit out of place, huh?
Alan's on the other side of the room, pulling his hair.
Yeah, they all kind of turn over towards you, and Jakundi has let's say 2 of his crewmates with him. Really, really dangerous looking people. They have just bandoliers of knives all over their chests and stuff like that.
You think these guys were born in those outfits or what? Couldn't catch me dead in one of those, am I right?
Are you telling him that?
It's just the group.
About their own outfits?
I'm acting. No. The all the dressed up people.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You're talking about them.
Okay,
to Jakundi.
About the
rich. I'm trying to ingratiate myself.
I thought you were trying to get stabbed.
Right, no, I was ingratiating myself. I'm acting cool like I don't know who he is.
Yeah, you're acting very cool right now.
Yeah.
Jakundi eventually turns to you, and there's just this. There's a silence, and then as you start talking about the other people, he's like, "Yes, they think it tells the world that they are strong, but it is not."
That's right. There's only one thing the world recognizes as strength, and that's actual strength. That wasn't actually deep once I said it out loud.
Who are you?
Oh, Francis Turner. I reach my hand out to shake his hand.
He reaches out to shake it, just a clatter of jewelry on his hands, and he says, "Are you bidding on the item this evening?"
More of an observer tonight. Just trying to get the lay of the land, actually. I've been do a bit of detective work. Nothing, probably nothing you've heard of yet, but we're working there.
Detective work?
Yeah, just finding stuff for people that need stuff found, that sort of thing.
At this point, like, Halwin's been watching from across the room, and seeing Frank talk to Jakundi has gotten him so anxious, which is unusual for Halwin. He just walks away and keeps like mingling around the party because he can't he can't watch it. Well,
he's got a drink in his hand, just shaking.
I'm just terrified that he's going to gut you from navel to chin.
He becomes very interested when Frank says that he's a detective here looking for something. It's what is it that you were looking for? I'm glad that you are not bidding tonight because that would make us enemies right now. But what are you looking for?
Well, we're on a particular case. I can't speak too much of the details, but the clues that we found led us to believe our quarry, so to speak, is in the area. Plus, I've always kind of wanted to see a ghost tiger, so I was hoping there might be one. Have you seen a ghost tiger? I bet you have.
I have indeed. They are spectacular, but not the best mage bred animals that I've seen in my day. Killian himself is very prolific, especially recently. The things that he has churned out over the last couple of years have been unbelievable. I cannot wait to see what he unveils tonight.
Better than a ghost tiger?
Much better.
Oh.
Well, scarier.
Well, I mean,
scarier, not as beautiful as his past work, but definitely more dangerous, which is why I'm here.
Yeah, that makes sense. You look like you're ready to rumble at any time.
I guess Jakundi didn't introduce himself back to Frank, so
no,
you're still trying to be snide like you don't know who he is?
I'm not trying to be snide. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it cool.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I don't think he would introduce himself. And it says, to be honest, it makes me nervous having a detective here right now, and not knowing what you're looking for.
Oh, it has nothing to do with any sort of person. Let me just put it that way. And I give him a big, exaggerated wink.
He laughs and then kind of brushes off. Fine. If you do not want to tell me, then I hope that you find what you are looking for.
I appreciate that. And hey, thanks for taking the time to talk. Like I said, I was a little uncomfortable around the rest of these stuck-up pricks.
Yes, well, perhaps we are similar in that way. I hope that you find what you're looking for, and if you hit a roadblock, remember that blood in the water will always draw out the predator.
That's deep. I'm gonna write that down. Do you mind if I write that down?
And then he opens up his coat and he has that tattooed on his clavicle.
Nice.
And then attributed to him.
Yeah.
Dash. This is Jakundi.
Hyphen Jakundi, the Dread Pirate Jakundi.
Frey goes, I was going to write that down, but now that I've read it, it's locked in.
Great. He's a visual learner.
Yeah.
Good luck, Francis.
Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Okay.
Surf's up.
Surf's up, dude.
Yeah. So you part ways. Let's go back to Paxton, who's in the bushes, and maybe just peering through the little cartoon hole in the bushes. You look inside and you see Halwin and Francis kind of wandering around talking with people, and you see Frank talking with this really scary guy at the bar.
So yeah,
what are you gonna do?
So I've just a little flashback when when I went through the wall and I ran into the bushes, I saw that guy whose name both Kyle and Paxton don't remember.
Barry.
No, yeah, Barry.
The gnome, yeah, Barry.
Yes, I saw Barry go towards the gate and let them in. And it doesn't quite click that I'm allowed to be in here now. I still think that I'm hiding, like I did something I'm not supposed to do. So I'm a little terrified. I watched them get in, get out of the cart, walk in, and now I'm out here just in the bushes alone.
Yeah. I would say this is probably an underused section of the outside of the mansion for a secret entrance, but there's still some people basically just hanging out outside.
Okay. So first of all is to disguise myself.
Gosh.
You said there were people out on the balcony, right? Or they were sitting on park benches or something?
Yeah, they're on a patio.
Okay.
Kind of.
I'm going to sneak up and steal the man's jacket who he had laid it over the rail. I'm gonna walk up and steal it to camouflage myself.
Okay.
Nice.
I like that. We're going to need to act under pressure for you to kind of sneak and steal the jacket.
Okay.
Or the coat.
All right. What do I roll for that?
Plus cool.
Plus cool. I do have good cool. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a 7 plus a 2, which is a 9.
Okay, which is a mixed success.
He puts it on, but it's too small.
That's really funny. Or,
So
it's way too big.
Well, he's already wearing mesh, so he puts it on. It's too small, and it like rips, and like I just got like a ripped tux over.
I think I have a different idea. That's a very good idea. I like that idea. But
However,
yes, so you sneak up and you grab the jacket from the railing as these two people are talking to each other, and the man whose jacket you're stealing has this kind of a thick foreign accent, somewhere from the northern area of Corvair. And as you kind of like sneak the jacket off and kind of put it over your shoulders, and then are you heading into the party or?
I was kind of hoping to just not necessarily go in the same way they did, but sneak around the other side of the building looking for like a back entrance.
Sure, that's fine. You can find a back entrance easily enough. This is a big place, and there's a lot of entrances. As you take the jacket and you put it on, and maybe you don't take a lot of time to look at it, but there's this big insignia on the back of it.
Oh god!
This like polygonal like representation of like a silver like gargoyle on the back of this black jacket.
You're a waiter now,
Black
baby.
coat.
No, that's one of the houses.
And you wander into the party with this still strange ensemble of this mesh. What's the colors on the jersey? Black and yellow.
Yeah, black and yellow.
Okay, on top of this big black fancy coat, or underneath this big black fancy coat.
Okay, I guess probably black and white, right? Are you still just?
I don't know. Did it fit?
I mean,
did it fit me?
I think it might be. It may be not a perfect fit, but it fits.
Okay, yeah.
You're
fairly.
standing. You should button it.
The fit isn't the problem on this jacket.
I've got it buttoned up. I would like to say that I left my sword and lacrosse stick in the bush.
Oh,
I left it hidden.
I love that.
Yeah, I needed to stash it somewhere so I couldn't be,
I mean, and you notice as you go on that like no one is outright carrying weapons with them.
Yeah,
except for Jakundi's people. But no one else is like armed.
Does that mean did I have to leave my rapier or anything at the door?
You didn't have to if you want to take it in with you, but
Okay.
I think Halwin would know that it might be kind of like proper etiquette to
Yeah.
stash
Okay.
it somewhere.
But I've still got my throwing knives in my garage.
You're free to bring it in if you want to. No one's going to stop you. But
Okay, I would have left my rapier, but I've got my smaller hidden weapons still on me.
okay, just leave it in the wagon or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So I just wanted to stash it
I
so
love
I could sneak around more freely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. It's probably just like this, like far distant shot of like the top of the lacrosse stick, like sticking out of a bush a little bit somewhere as you enter into the party and are kind of like now awash with all these fancy people, and you find Halwin and Frank as they've just gathered from learning things with each other, and then you all see Paxton kind of show up.
They
with you.
see me like sneak in through the I guess the kitchen door.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to like draw attention to myself, but I kind of like sidle over to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Psst, hey, Uncle Frank, I made it.
Paxton, where'd you go? How'd you get in here? Did Barry let you in? Where'd you get that coat?
There's a door on the wall. There is a door in the wall.
Most doors are in walls.
Yeah,
Paxton.
the wall,
You don't
the wall
understand.
doesn't- Yeah.
It rolls. It rotates. There's a rotating door in the wall.
Oh, like a revolving door. It's better. I mean, it keeps the air circulating better. It's it's nice.
You know the play Sharn Deanna Jones.
Sharndiana Jones.
Oh, I see. A secret door.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
definitely not supposed to be. And I saw the
Yeah, you
monkey
gotta
tracks.
use your adjectives.
I saw the monkey tracks
Which way were they going?
indoors.
This direction,
Yes.
more or less. Okay.
Would you mind taking us to where they went, friendo, nephew?
What kind of
Buddy.
time are we looking at? Are we supposed to meet with Killian soon?
We'll say you're about halfway there. So
Okay.
this happened in like 15, 20
And we are
minutes.
definitely
so.
living on a prayer.
And
Okay.
also, real quick, I only asked one of my read a bad situation questions.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Again,
For those, you don't have to ask them all at once either, but you can ask some
yeah,
more now
I'm
if you
trying to
want.
think. I'm trying to figure out how to frame one of these to find out what's being auctioned. And
Okay.
I can't.
Animals.
I think I'm fine with you asking that question.
Yeah,
like it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Sorry.
no, totally. I think it's. I was always unclear of like how flexible we should be with the questions, but I think it helps more than it hurts really to be flexible with them. So, yeah, you can definitely get that sense because it. But I mean, it's not incredibly clear because Frank learned, I mean, vaguely like what Killian's up to, and you know that like the stuff he's been apparently selling these mage-bred creations to this class of people recently for a while, and that recently, I mean, maybe over the last couple of years, his work has expanded into new territory that he never reached before.
Indominus Rex, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And that no one here knows what is exactly being auctioned, unfortunately. Just that there is something very new and very dangerous.
So we
mage-bred animals.
So it's Killian's. It's basically Killian's newest masterpiece monster is what's being auctioned.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, and for sure, and a lot of the people here, while they're very wealthy and upper class, they don't seem like people who would. They look like people who are buying weapons. They're people who are buying weapons effectively right now.
Gotcha.
So
okay. So sorry, I just wanted to
totally
get that before I forgot I had more questions.
Yes.
And I still have one. So.
Yes.
Okay. So Paxton, can you show us where you entered?
Yeah, sure. And we sneak them back out through the back door that I came in.
Sure. Yeah, you as you wander back out to your path, like we also see like the man whose coat you stole is just like looking around the patio. It's like I swear that I left it somewhere, but where did it go? But they don't notice you.
Yeah.
He's just very intent on finding his jacket.
So is Paxton walking in front of us at this point? I guess since we're following him.
Sure.
Do we see the symbol on the back of his jacket?
Yeah.
Do I recognize it?
Does Frank recognize it?
Frank would probably more immediately recognize it. And Halwin, you might recognize that it's that this kind of like grayish silver gargoyle is a common piece of iconography from the nation of Karnath, which is the northern nation. But Frank would recognize it as being the symbol, the specific representation of this gargoyle being the symbol of the Reckonmark Academy, which is a very highly esteemed military training academy in Karnath.
I'm gonna go Paxton. I mean, I like the new look, but where'd you get that jacket again?
I boosted it off that old guy.
Boosted.
and maybe now that you're taking a moment to look at it, you see that there are like some like stitchings like sewn into like the lapels or something, like badges or like merits of some kind stitched into it, or like some notation of rank associated.
Well, I think we've already crossed the Rubicon on that one, but just let's not go too near that old guy. Give us a heads up if he's in your line of sight.
Sure. I like the symbols on it. They look really cool, don't they?
They do, and I'm glad to see that you are a major.
Yeah, like look at all these stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all these cool
I
stars.
think I might take this back to school with me. This is a good party jacket.
Yeah, congrats on the promotion.
Paxton brings you all to that section of the wall that he was in, and you see his sword and his lacrosse stick in the bush there.
Don't let me forget that. And I grab it and put it back on.
Okay.
Now I've got my sword.
Great.
And yeah, he takes you back to the section of the wall, and looking at it, it seems to be just a rotating wall that has seen some traffic going through. There are some sections of it that are worn, and now that you're looking at it, you can see that it has been in use.
Oh, are the Rangers with us? What are they doing?
Did you want to bring them? I imagine that Kanaj is there drinking, and Finn is there standing quietly because that's what he does.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah,
that's his thing.
Well, first off, before roping them in, can we find the monkey tracks?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think you can locate where they were at this wall, and if you want to pursue them and follow where they go, you definitely can.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that as inconspicuously as possible, but
okay. Yeah, they seem to lead towards the back section of the mansion. If you'll want to follow them.
Okay. Yeah, at least for now, until it starts to look like we're crossing a line.
Yeah, let's mosey on over there and check out the area.
Okay, sure.
So, does it appear to be like? Are there guards in that area or anything? No,
not really. This isn't really a guarded area. Like, there's staff here, but there seems to be, I mean, I'm not sure whether you'd find it surprising or not, but a complete lack of, like, armed guards here.
Animals can take care of themselves.
Probably.
And as you're following them around the back of the house, it gets difficult to continue to track them because this area sees a lot more foot traffic as you're moving through this area. But basically, you can kind of follow them to what looks to be some sort of basement entrance, kind of like a cellar entrance, a cellar door, if you will. The most beautiful of phrases.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You got about 5 minutes until you're supposed to meet Killian right now.
Uncle Frank, I think this door is where the tracks lead.
Yeah, pretty sure about that, but I'm just debating if we should look at it now. We got an appointment. It would look weird if we...
Oh, God.
Was that volunteer, I hear?
Sure, what could go wrong?
Yeah, he doesn't have an appointment. The rest of us...
Kyle, are you actually using a move right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Or don't worry, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
So what happens when you do that?
Whenever you go off by yourself to check out somewhere or something scary, mark experience.
Okay. Yeah, so if Paxton wants to go check this out on his own, you would definitely get experience for that. So is the idea that he goes to check it out while you guys go
Go to the
Killian?
appointment, yeah.
Yeah, because he's technically not expected.
We don't have any way of communicating with each other if he's in trouble,
our
right?
fantasy pagers.
Yeah.
They don't get service out here.
Rats. Don't worry. If Uncle Frank, if something goes wrong, just listen for the screams and you'll find it.
Fair enough.
Oh, no, look for the smoke.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll keep an eye out. But be safe, okay? Don't do anything your uncle wouldn't do. Now I'm talking about your Uncle Halwin. He's more...
Yeah. You fought a lot of people.
Yeah.
I put my hand on Paxton's shoulder as, Frank starts to walk away. I put my hand on Paxton's shoulder and say, I'm not your uncle. And I walk away.
Uncle Halwin, wait, can I borrow your garrote?
Mark's face. Halwin's face.
That's Halwin's face.
Yeah.
It's like, you've almost cried every time I've used it, and now you want to use it?
I just feel like it would help in this situation.
You have a giant sword.
Well, yeah, but if I'm sneaking...
Fine.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
You're becoming a one-man arsenal.
Yeah. What a move of trust here.
I expect it back, and I hold no responsibility for the psychological scars you inflict on yourself.
Perfect. Hopefully I won't have to use it, but if worst comes to worst.
Still not your uncle. Cool. And walks away.
So you all walk back into the house, you go to the library, and Paxton swings open the cellar door and enters in.
Well, not so brashly.
Sure. It's very dramatic looking, but it does not make a lot of noise.
Perfect.
It's not Aragorn entering Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Who wants to go first here? Who wants to...
I think we should do our meeting first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least start it.
You go in and go to the library, which is very well maintained and has a lot of different collections inside of it.
Random question: are we bringing the Rangers with us?
I was gonna say they're probably
because they were there
yeah.
at the time.
They're waiting for the time to arrive, and they see you head back in, and then they join you.
Right.
I'm gonna whisper to Finn. I'm gonna say, just don't say anything brash, okay?
Got it.
Finn's human.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, so as you're all kind of there, there's these like nice lounge chairs, and you're all waiting. And eventually Killian does arrive. And he kind of comes in seemingly a little hurried, like a little rushed. But Killian is an elderly man at this point, probably pushing 70. He's seemingly very thin. And starting to kind of hunch a little bit, but he's very distinguished. His hair is very styled silver hair, swept back. He is dressed in basically the equivalent of a suit, and one other piece of oddity is an eye patch that he wears over his right eye. Just a simple black eye patch that he kind of wanders in, and he kind of wanders in rushed and says, I've been told that I'm here to meet the King's Rangers and the company. What can I do for you all?
Well, hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Frank Turner. This is my associate,
Halwin Rindal. Pleasure to meet you.
Killian Vidalis. This is my home and my event.
Yeah. Very lovely home, must say.
Thank you very much. Why are you here?
King's business first, or else? I kind of say that looking at Kanesh.
We will go first then. Master Vidalis, we're here to investigate some evidence of ritualistic sacrifices that we've found in the King's Forest. We were just wondering if you had any particular information about that, or if you've seen any strange goings-on on the edge of the King's Forest, as your property is the closest to the area and would be the most likely to have seen anything.
Well, it's watching Keegan talk to himself. This is great.
Right, yeah. I'm not going to do it too much. Killian kind of wanders around the library as he's kind of talking to you all about it, and he says, I haven't seen anything that out of the ordinary. I've been holed up in my home for most of the time. I don't go beyond its walls very much.
But is he lying?
He's actually truthful there.
Okay.
And he's very calm. He's very confident in the manner that he's speaking, and he kind of starts to swing in position a little bit to where he's like, Terransby is a quiet town, and partially why I enjoy this area, partially why I decided to build this estate here. It's a quiet place where I can work in peace. The only oddity in the area is that the Bormar clan stable, criminals, basically housing their wares here.
What an interesting segue,
yes,
Master Vidalis.
First things, speaking of Terransby, do you ever breed gnomes? Because there's one who's very, very strong.
Halwin is just looking at Frank in utter disbelief.
And it's, quite frankly, suspicious.
He's too strong.
He's too strong.
Too strong.
Yeah, that is certainly a very odd question.
Perhaps you've heard of him,
but I think it's so odd that it takes him off guard, and he actually laughs at it, and he says, "Well, I'm sure I have." He points over to the bookshelves. I'm sure I have a couple of pieces on the subject matter of experimenting on humanoid genetics, but no, certainly I've never pushed into that field at all. I strictly deal in the trainable beasts of the sort. Humans are much too unpredictable.
Well, let me just say, if you could harness the power
of this gnome,
this gnome's right arm, I'd pay a pretty penny.
And he kind of starts talking a little bit more about himself, just as you brought up this weird segue. He says that when myself and my Vidalis brethren, when we take on new ventures, we do not have a goal. We do not attempt to recreate an objective. We simply open nature up to the possibilities and see where it goes.
Just like when you discovered the Vidalius onion.
That was a great
Did you write that
discovery.
One down?
No.
Most of the family didn't agree that delving into vegetables was a good.
No one ever thought an onion could be sweet.
Call.
I proved them all wrong.
But that particular pioneer was very fortunate in that regards. But we mostly stick with animals.
Vinny Vidalis. God rest his soul.
As you kind of disarmed a little bit, and as he goes to more speak kind of explicitly, and says, I have no knowledge of any sort of ritualistic sacrifices. Halwin, you can probably tell that he's lying when he says that he has no knowledge of the ritual sacrifices going on.
Aha!
Okay.
I knew what he considers out of the ordinary might not be what we consider out of the ordinary.
So now, Master Vidalis, you seem like a man who has a pretty good finger on, everything that goes about in his, his holdings, and
I try. It's getting harder though.
And my understanding of, your legendary work ethic is that you want to know what's going on at all stages of the process, and you truly do not know of what's going on right outside your own front door on the edge of the forest.
Like I said, I don't make it out anymore, and in my past, I used to want to keep an eye on everything, but my sight is not what it used to be back in those days. I'm afraid that I can't offer you any more information on that.
Fine.
If you wanted to use one of your questions, you still have a read a situation question, and you also have your big question, don't you still?
Yeah.
If you want to use it. Not saying you have to, but...
Well, he's thinking, So fair enough, you've never dabbled in gnomes, but any other animals that walk on two legs?
Perhaps some animals that walk on two legs occasionally. Primates of the sort, certainly. We've looked into those before. Very adaptable creatures.
Yeah. Are they so adaptable they decide they pick up sort of human-like traits, I'd assume, right?
Sometimes, depending on the species.
They ever get sticky fingers? And I'm not talking about from stealing honey from your hybrid buzz boys. Shark boys.
Perhaps I have read studies to where that is the case, where they develop attachments to certain objects. But I'm afraid I don't have time to talk about the intricacies of primate behaviors right now.
Master Vidalis, we will shoot straight with you.
Please.
We are private investigators who have been hired to investigate I'm just going to call it a raptor.
That's fine, yeah.
Grand Theft Raptor.
To investigate Grand Theft Raptor. It would seem the aforementioned stables are missing one of their raptors, and we were able to track it along with, incidentally, what looked like primate footprints to this very holding.
Sticky fingers. and I then eat one of the hors d'oeuvres I've had.
Right, you just took a tray with you from someone else to bring into the room. When you lay it all out like that, and then even Kinesh kind of looks at you all like this is like that's a big statement to make in the situation.
And we weren't getting anywhere.
No, I know. I mean, I appreciate it. Killian's demeanor immediately gets very, very serious. He starts to again confidently say that I don't quite know exactly what you're implying, but I can assure you that if there's been any theft, that myself nor anyone in my employ has been a part of it. And cracks in that alibi or cracks in that reasoning are definitely kind of out in full display as he kind of actually gets kind of flustered by all of this. And he says, regardless of who you're with, I think it's very clear that you have not been invited and you do not belong here. So King's Rangers or no, if the King's authority wants to talk to me, then Bornell himself better come down here and ask me himself. I'm done here. And he starts to leave the room. Yeah, he exits.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to Halwin and go, I think he was acting a little suspicious. My detective senses are stingling.
Francis, I can only hope to one day be as good of a detective as you.